And the big story that we are tracking at the top of 1 p.m. today is where the Twitter founder and former CEO Jack Dorsey's comments has raked up a political storm. In an interview with a YouTube channel, Dorsey claimed that he had received many requests from the Indian government during the farmers' protest, especially over journalists critical of the government. At that time, Dorsey claimed Indian government had also threatened to shut down Twitter in India if they did not comply and raided homes of Twitter India employees. While Congress has jumped into this and criticized the government, Centre has hit back at the Twitter co-founder, calling his claims as an outright lie. Minister of State for Information and Technology Rajiv Chandrasekhar said that Twitter was never shut down in India and no one went to jail, and that it's the government's mandate to ensure that there is no spread of misinformation. And to take this discussion further, I'm joined by our editor of Mirror Now, Mr. Nikunj Garg, here with me. Nikunj, thank you for joining us here at Mirror Now. These claims that are being made by the former CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, firstly, the timing of it. Why is it coming out now? Why are these claims made in a belated manner? Why could he not take this to court and seek the legal remedy when he was in India? Secondly, a political furor has erupted over here, but the Congress party is readily endorsing without doing due diligence, and the government maintains that the Twitter is operational as free as it was ever before.
Samia, as a matter of principle, I'm not very big fan of post facto claims. The fact of the matter is that Mr. Jack Dorsey was not some juvenile. Mr. Jack Dorsey was not some minion. He always was a very big personality, not only in the world of the social media or not only in the world of the tech sphere where he operated, but otherwise also is a very well-known man, very well-known face, and somebody absolutely in command of the things. For such an individual to claim after a significant passage of time, remember farms protest ended a long time back, government withdrew those legislations a significant period of time back, and the protests were actually predating those that withdrawal. So for him to come out now, once he is completely not associated with that platform has changed hands and he's completely out of it, seems to me a clever businessman's ploy. A clever commentary coming from a businessman who's now not associated and is wanting to show as to how upright he was when he was leading that platform. And consequently, the people who have taken charge post his departure from that platform may not be that upright and may have made certain kind of compromises. So that is the point about the post facto claims. Now, on the fact that Mr. Dorsey is making certain claims and government is rejecting them out of hand, calling him a liar, so to say. I am not a government spokesperson. It is between the government and the opposition. They can, have their political slugfest. It's a field day for the opposition, and the arena is open for them.
But as a journalist.
But as a professional watcher of this space and as a neutral observer, I will have to say a few things. The fact of the matter is that Twitter on multiple occasions, and this is a fact, on multiple occasions went to various high courts in this country, namely Bangalore High Court and Mumbai High Court too. And on each occasion, actually Twitter got the relief against the government. It was not the government that got the relief, Twitter got the relief. So for Twitter to say that because government threatened that they will put some people behind the bars or some raids will be carried out, they sort of, ceded a certain space against the government, or the government, was wanting to have an untrammeled right of way over the freedom of certain journalists is, I don't think, the correct formulation of the entire development. What we are ignoring here is the very critical and very crucial role played by a very robust and a very independent judiciary in this country. In particular case of Twitter itself, Twitter, the platform itself, on multiple occasions, having gotten the relief from Indian judiciary, you can't say that it was government versus them. There was always a bulwark of the independent judiciary that was available to Twitter, which Twitter completely exploited.
Absolutely.
Which Twitter completely exploited. And I must also add, see, these are multi-jurisdictional corporations. They operate across the world. In multiple jurisdictions today, the conduct of the social media firms and big tech is under grave questioning, from Australia to Europe to America itself, from where they originated. Multiple lawsuits have been filed. Multiple courts have held against the behavior, the malfeasance on multiple occasions, and other acts of omission and commission on the part of big tech. Now, in such a scenario, to imagine or to believe that in a developing country or in a country which, according to them, probably is not in the A league of jurisdiction in which they are operating, they should get some kind of a preferential treatment, is a mindset that operates with that kind of multinational corporations. It is not restricted to one, but it is restricted to, it spreads across the genre. When our corporations operate outside India, like let's say for Tata's or Reliance, etc., they're not given any kind of preferential treatment. So when the minister says that Indian laws must reign supreme and India is a sovereign jurisdiction, I completely endorse that. If there is any transgression on those laws, and if the government is transgressing the space that it should be operating into and entering into the domain where it should not be, and where the pressure or heat is being felt by any kind of corporation, courts are there to adjudicate. And that adjudication, in the eyes of the world, largely has been a fair adjudication of the situations. Other than that, has any corporation in the last 9 years, as we talk of Mr. Modi's government, or previously walked out of India because the government of India mounted that kind of pressure which they were unable to sustain, or which was unbearable? No, that's not borne by any kind of fact. So I will certainly not back big tech or social media firms here. I will say that the laws of the land must operate. And if they were facing any kind of pressure, they should have withstood that pressure, gone to the courts at that particular point of time, rather than making this sort of a comment in an incendiary manner post facto, when the individual concerned has absolutely nothing to do with that platform. In a way, now also besmirching the reputations of the people who are running that platform. So I would rather call it a completely unfair situation which is developing. And to my mind, government is completely right in rejecting these claims out of hand.
But Nikunj, there's also now politics being played, is what we are also reporting over here, of course. We were speaking to a section of the Congress party leaders who also held a press conference a short while ago. They are maintaining is that if the government of the day found certain areas of concern that they were trying to use the platform to spread misinformation, they had laws well within their right to try and take them to court. Why did they not try to do that, firstly? Secondly, do you think that there is a need now, given the boom in the social sector, social media sector, should specific laws be enacted in this regard, or do you think we have enough laws to be acted upon?
So two things, two parts. Let me answer the first part first. In terms of government's claim of manipulation by the Twitter, again, I am not going to back that claim. So this is again a claim of the government of the day, right? And I am not going to endorse that claim. That is between the government and the Twitter. Government must prove its claim against the Twitter. However, to say that the government didn't go to the court or government didn't haul Twitter up, that's not fair, because what had happened was, we remember a situation when the then law minister, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, actually said that he would summon the Twitter CEO to the Parliamentary Standing Committee, if I'm not wrong. You can correct me there. And on multiple occasions, government did ensure or inject injunctions in the way Twitter was operating, and government did haul up the executives of the Twitter and call them for various meetings, etc., to express its concerns very, very solidly. Some of those meetings in the Ministry of Home Affairs I have personally covered. So that kind of run-in between the government and the Twitter, particularly as the social media platform, has been happening for a significant period of time. So it would not be appropriate to say that the government never hauled up Twitter and government has now woken up. Now, whether the government actually, on this manipulation claim that they are making today, must have walked the talk at that particular point in time, we do not have the clear timeline right now in front of us, or whether what the government did at that point in time, maybe more clarity emerges once government puts out those actions in the public domain. However, again, I reiterate, I am not the one who is going to endorse the claim of the government. Coming to the point of a requirement of a specific law, my sense is we have enough laws in this country. On every occasion, let's not rush to enact some kind of a special law, which are more prone to misuse than to any kind of, any kind of adequate, important safeguards. Special laws, as a matter of experience, have always traditionally been misused than been put to some rather, exalted use that they are introduced with the purpose of. However, if the government still thinks that there is lacuna, remember, data protection bill is still pending. Data protection bill is still, somewhere toggling between the standing committees in the parliament and the parliament itself. So government can introduce those kind of safeguards that are required to be. And once the people of the country or the jurists of this country, more equally enough between the parliament and the judiciary, have agreed upon a set of laws that everyone will have to operate within. I am 100% for the fact that no concession should be made for any social media company or any big tech corporation, which are, as I said, increasingly coming under intense scrutiny across jurisdiction all over the globe.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Nikunj Garg, for joining us here and putting things into perspective. But let us also listen into